Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I do realize that not only is it late, but I'm late. But nevertheless, I am here. I am here. Um, well, this is my first episode post marriage. Okay. You see the smiles are still here. Yeah, I had some significant technical difficulties prior to starting this show because I really had planned on doing it at 10:30. It's now 11 o'clock. But nevertheless, how are you guys? I've missed you. In case you don't know who I am Mrs. Aaron Willis. All right. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're gonna get that right. We got our buttons right today. All right, step one. Step one. But so everything was absolutely amazing. I do have a few pictures from the wedding as well as the honeymoon. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let that play, and hopefully everything goes well with that. Cause ooh, y'all don't know the struggle. Y'all don't know the struggle. All right, so I'm gonna have this playing while I talk to you guys. And it'll loop all that kind of good stuff, but so y'all can get a chance to enjoy some of the photos. I don't have very many wedding photos because of course I was the bride. I wasn't there taking selfies. But I got what I could and stole some from those that posted to Facebook. So those that did, thank you for doing that. But as you can see, the venue and everything turned out marvelous. It was way more than I had imagined. I didn't really have any particular expectations. That's one of my favorite photos right there. I love that. Oh, grab a little time. That's her lady. That's her wife. You really love that's her husband. All right, so I'm gonna pause it right there real quick because I didn't realize that the pictures were gonna go that fast, even though I made that. But nevertheless, so let me backtrack and just tell you some things about the wedding. Um, it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was everything that I wanted it to be. Just given the hiccups and everything that I told you guys about along the way, I was concerned. My stepmother played a huge role in the outcome of that. So thank you so much to Vanessa for that. But even still, just with her coming in last minute, I didn't know how it was gonna go, but it was amazing. The wedding coordinator had it together. I mean, had it together. She was on it. We did end up starting about an hour late. We had some family members that were stuck on the expressway behind a um, accident with a fatality that had like all the lanes shut down, and they actually ended up missing the ceremony, but did make it in time for the reception. So you know, show must go on. But it was a, I mean, it just to say it was good or beautiful is kind of like an understatement. Um, And then the turnout was amazing. Yes, people RSVP'd and all of that, but y'all, after, like I said, after all the hiccups and everything and disappointments along the way, I didn't have a lot of expectations for real about a head count, but they came out. They came out. So it was amazing. The ceremony was great. I only cried one time, and that was as I was coming down the aisle. Um, and I did dance. So I was escorted by my brother. Of course, you guys know my father is deceased. He passed away in 2017. So my brother stepped in and played that role, which I appreciate him for. And he also, we did, I guess, a brother sister dance as opposed to a father daughter dance. And we danced to Dance with My Father by Luther Vandross. So, of course, that was a bit of an emotional moment, but we made it. We made it. Um, V looked amazing. Like, I'm kind of lucky, y'all. Oh, he cleans up so good. But nevertheless, let me go ahead and let this video continue. So now we are getting into the cruise, which we were aboard the Carnival Conquest, which sailed out of Miami. We went to Half Moon Key in the Bahamas, and then we also went to Nassau. So I'm gonna let that play. Um, what else? As far as there's no volume options. All right, so I'm gonna pause it one more time. So what that video clip was just an inside look of the boat. So if you have never been on a cruise, y'all know I'm just a cruise advocate. Like put it on your bucket list, okay? It is a must do. Look at these photos, okay, and go. Just go. I don't care what line, where you go. I mean, cruising is the way to go. But so I'm sorry. That video was just an inside look of the Carnival Conquest. It is 13 decks, and it's basically like a floating mall. So in that, that was just a picture from what was it? The deck 4. So as you can see, there are stores in there. There are casinos. There are nightclubs, comedy clubs, piano bars, etc., so forth and so forth. So moral of the story is you will never be bored on the boat or off. All right. And I had no intentions of trying to explain all of this stuff, but now that I'm sharing these videos, I'm like, oh, I need to tell y'all these things. I'm actually walking out of the casino with some monies. Which pause. That was a first. Not that I won at the casino, but I actually walked out with the money. So I'm proud of myself. And I have to attribute that to my husband because he was there chaperoning me. Because, baby, all that money went right back into one of the other machines. But we had a great time. We had a great time. And these are just more pictures from the boat. This is an actual, like the art that was along the walls. We did have a suite. And I caught myself trying to be romantic and run my husband a bubble bath. And this was a good video. Eventually, by the time it was all said and done, and once I turned the jacuzzi jets on, them bubbles was on the floor. So I gave him a bath and cleaned the floor at the same time. Like it was tragic. There's the man himself. Delicious cake and chocolate covered strawberries. And every day they put a different towel animal on your bed. Yes, that's my husband in bed at 1 p.m. That's a picture from the deck. We did get a couples massage. That was amazing. Yeah, that was a real dinner portion right there.
That's funny.
Taste to it.
Wait a minute, because there's another video coming up. So that was my husband being bougie because we ate in the formal dining room where they give us these large glasses of water and things like that. So y'all know he's a grady baby. But we working on it. We working on it. So each day, they do a shot of the day with dinner, and we did a shot every day. This particular one was cinnamon toast crunch, which was actually really, really good. It tastes like big red. Good evening, people. It is like 9 o'clock. Okay, no, it's 10 o'clock. One of us had a little too much to drink, and one of us did not.
Which one had
But your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah. Your guess is right, then. It's as good as hers.
Nevertheless, we on our honeymoon. So now we're at Half Moon Key, which is part of the Bahamas. Fun facts about the Bahamas. Yes, that's my husband with socks on going to the beach. But obviously, we had an amazing time. It is really as beautiful as the movies show it to be. And this was okay. Let me pause. Um, one of the excursions that you could do if you went on the cruise, but I mean, if you booked it through the cruise, we did a tour around the island. So we didn't actually ride the horses because I wasn't about to pay all that money for 30 minutes. And you can actually ride the horses in the water for about 5 minutes. So yeah, I wasn't gonna do that. But we did get to see them do it, which was still amazing. And as you can see, the water is as clear as you have ever seen on any movies. Um, and some fun facts about why their water is so clear. They have zero pollution. They don't do any type of like commercial fishing or mining or anything like that that a lot of the other islands do, as well as here in the U.S., which is why we don't have those beautiful clear waters that they do. And you can see clear to the bottom in any part of the sea. So this was another excursion that you could have done. What she's holding in her hand is a live conch. And yes, they are swimming with stingrays and feeding them. So the second part of the cruise was at Nassau, which was another amazing experience. I forgot to mute this video, sorry. But we did a sea and sea tour. So we took this little powered catamaran to a submarine, which is where we got this video because they take you 5 feet under the water and you can actually see the fish and starfish. And we saw one shark. And somewhere in there they said there were turtles, but it was definitely amazing. Like, look how clear that is. That's from the submarine window. Yes, it says husband daycare at the bar. And that is a taxi with rims. That's the Sir Sidney Poitier Bridge in the Bahamas. That big building is Atlantis, I'm sorry. That's the oldest church in the land, and I think that's everything. Yep. All right, so now I'm just gonna let it keep looping. So if you missed any of those, you can see them again. But moral of the story is, guys, we had an amazing, amazing time. The wedding was amazing, and the honeymoon was amazing. It was all amazing. We had a great time. We did as much as we could do. The Bahamas is definitely a redo. Not that we had anything wrong with this trip, but there is just so much to do. You have to go several times just to take it all in. We made it to the beach in Half Moon, but we did not make it to the beach. I'm sorry, let me put this on mute. But we did not make it to the beach in the Bahamas just due to time constraints. So we'll be back. We will definitely be back. We're currently in the hunt for our next cruise, which is to Jamaica. I think we've got our next 3 years of cruising planned out now that we're kind of coming out of the pandemic. Just some heads up about like COVID protocols that we were unaware of. Um, they don't force you to be vaccinated. They just have a different process for people that are vaccinated versus unvaccinated. And both me and my husband are vaccinated. He actually has his booster. I do not. But nevertheless, we went through the vaccination portion as opposed to the unvaccinated. So we had to provide proof of the vaccination. And then we also had to get a COVID test prior to sailing. So we were good there. Obviously, mask mandates are no longer in place, so they were not required. But we wore them as we saw fit, depending on how deep we were, or how close we were to other people. Um, I do not believe that our ship was at full capacity. So for most of the cruise, we were able to just social distance and kind of stay away from people. The food was amazing. I did spare y'all up because I have a bunch of food pictures in my phone, but I just didn't put them in this video. I just wanted to give y'all an insight of the wedding and the honeymoon and all of those great things. But nevertheless, as far as this podcast, I will be back. I'm pretty much back, like I said, prior to leaving for the wedding. I do have my weekends back, so I look forward to doing videos on the weekends, either Saturday or Sunday. I will not be going back to the traditional Saturday 8:30 format, but I'm gonna make sure to keep in contact with you guys. And I know that there's a lot that's been going on for how long have I been missing? About 3 weeks or so. So there's a lot that is going on that we haven't talked about, but we'll talk about some of those things um, and just play catch up. But nevertheless, like I said, and I always say, I'm not going to be before you long. And tonight, that is true. So it is a pleasure to be back with you guys. And I am out of here. So, as always, thank you so much for your love and for your support. Thank you for watching this podcast. I am your host, Miss Erin Willis, and we will see you next time. Take care.